Good evening and welcome to round 4 of the Women's Six Nations. Kicking off this weekend of rugby action, it is Wales versus France from Cardiff Arms Park. It's a lovely night here in the capital. The sun has sunk beneath the horizon, but conditions still relatively mild in Cardiff for the visit of France, unbeaten France. Wales, of course, in 3rd place. France heavy favourites for this one, though Wales will fancy their chances of an upset. And then it's Italy versus Scotland and England against Ireland to wrap things up. England, of course, the defending champions, and at the moment they are leading the charge in the Women's Six Nations this year. Top of the table on points difference from France. Although France, as you can see, also on 15 points, 3 bonus point victories, just beneath England on an inferior points difference. Wales, though, in 3rd place, and as I say, they will be targeting France, despite the fact in their last few encounters that they have lost heavily. And we can have a little look now at that head-to-head record. It isn't pretty reading for Wales fans. There it is, look, France have won 23 of the 27 fixtures, Wales just 3. No draws in this fixture, and all of those Welsh victories have come at home. The last one back in 2016 at the Knoll, just 10 points to 8 on that occasion, whereas on the last 3 occasions, France have put 50 points or more on Wales. In Wales, as we mentioned, Wales have won 3, France 8, so it's a lot closer when Wales are playing in front of their home fans. So there are France in their dressing room, ready for this huge encounter for them. They are hot on England's tail in the Six Nations table, looking for their first championship victory for 4 years. And if they're going to carry on and keep on England's tail, they have to win here this evening. We had a record crowd when Wales faced Scotland, just under 5,000 at the Arms Park. They'll be hoping for something similar here tonight. Conditions pretty decent, fairly mild for the time of year, and the wind just dropping now as we've approached kickoff. Welcome everyone, here they come, France looking to extend their winning record in this Women's Six Nations 2022. 3 from 3 so far, 3 bonus point victories. It's an ominous challenge for Wales, but they too have shown some form in this tournament so far. Aside from that defeat to England last week, 2 memorable victories against Ireland and Scotland. The ultimate test awaits here this evening at Cardiff Arms Park as the French side line up in preparation for the anthems. The Welsh side yet to emerge in front of another healthy-sized crowd here at Cardiff Arms Park. Here comes Siwan Lillicrap leading out her charges to the fireworks and the cheers. 5,000, just under 5,000 here to watch Wales against Scotland. They're hoping for something similar here this evening, and as we can see, the stands are packed with passionate Welsh supporters, red jerseys everywhere, and this could be a corker here tonight in the Welsh capital. The smoke and the fireworks die down, we prepare for the national anthems. And as always, just to reiterate, there is no place in this world, in this sport, indeed anywhere, for racism. Rugby against racism. And we also stand in unity with all those suffering in the conflict in Ukraine. Important VIPs in the crowd here this evening. Bernard Laporte, a familiar face, watching on, hoping for another handsome French victory, but the 5,000 or so Welsh fans in the crowd will be hoping for something very different. And we're about to be treated to one of the finest anthems in sports, La Marseillaise. Hearty rendition of La Marseillaise. Prepare now for the home anthem in Lard van Hadden. There is no doubting the passion in this Welsh side. A rousing rendition of My Hymn Lard van Hadden as we await kick-off here. 5 changes from Johan Cunningham to the team that lost to England. Cerys Hale and lock Natalia John return to the tight 5, and Beth Lewis makes her first start of the campaign on the open side. Siwan Lillicrap returns to her favoured position of number 8. Behind the scrum, Ciara Bevan and Eleanor Snowsill reclaim the halfback spots, meaning Robin Wilkins shifts to inside centre, giving Wales another playmaker in the three-quarter line. 10 of the starting 15 are now full-time professionals. 6 changes to the French side as Annick Hayreau continues to rotate her squad. Agatha Sochat returns to the starting lineup 2 weeks after her partner gave birth to their first child. Many congratulations to them both. And Roman Menager, one of 2 twins in the 15, starts at number 8. In the backs, Wales will be wary of Caroline Boujard, who scored a hat-trick in the first half against Wales last year. And on the subs benches, Niamh Terry is primed to make her first start of the campaign for Wales. She'll add to her 4 caps if she comes on, and Emily Boulard will be keen to add to her 2 tries if she gets an opportunity later on this evening. So the World Player of the Year, Player of the Decade, Jessie Tremoulière, the French fly-half, influential figure in this French side, and another increasingly influential figure there in Laure.
No, just hold on, sorry.
Sans-Souci, the scrum half, top try scorer in the tournament so far this year.
So I think there'll be a big
Tonight's referee, Maggie Cogger-Orr, from the New Zealand Rugby Union, checks a watch. Last few words of encouragement from Sue-Ann Lillicrap as Eleanor Snowsill prepares to get this game underway. And we're away here in Cardiff, fielded well by Tremoulier.
Good.
And she returns the kick with a bit of interest into the hands of Welsh fullback Kayleigh Powell. And what do Wales do from here? Hannah Jones looks for support but decides to run into traffic. Kieran Bevan. And there's the commanding figure there of Karis Phillips taking the ball into contact. As Wales set up this ruck.
Wait here, Red. Wait for
French
the winger.
defence well organised, so Bevan goes over the top. Contestable kick, Jasmine Joyce after that one, but it was well taken by the French, possession in their hands. And now we saw Sansus, such a danger, sniping around those fringes. Wales will need to contain her this evening. Tremoulier, and that is Fall in the second row. Huge presence in this French second row, charging into contact as France look to spin the ball wide. Now there could be numbers over on the right-hand side, but opt for the kick instead of spinning it wide, and that could be a reprieve for Wales. Scrum down to France, first scrum of the game, and a chance to introduce my co-commentator this evening, former Wales international Philippa Tuttiett. What a night for it, Philippa.
Good evening, yeah. Bit of a trial, this one, having a Friday night fixture under the lights here at Cardiff Arms Park.
Make sure we're to the left.
Beautifully dry conditions. Looks like it's going to stay dry for the rest of the evening as well, which is important. A tough task ahead for Wales. They're playing against the third best team in the world. But what a brilliant opportunity off the back of that heavy defeat against England. The top team in the world. What have they learned from that? Now go against another top team. Let's see how much you can progress.
First real big test of the evening then. This French scrummage has been imperious so far. 100% record on their own put-in, and they'll be looking to maintain that tonight.
The gap's too big, right? The gap's too big, so let's move it closer. Need you guys to be supporting your weight. Can't be leaning. So, yeah, we're good here. You stay here. Come closer. Let's get this right.
So Maggie Cogger-Orr just stating from the outset she doesn't want any nonsense in these scrums. Let's make them a clean contest.
So you need to keep your head in the gap. I don't want to see you out here. I want to see you in your space. Next one's a free kick against you. Sort it. You let me ref.
Laying down the law early, and that's what you want to see, Philippa. There's nothing worse than a series of endless resets.
Absolutely, clear communication there to the front row. And it's so important about showing that good early picture in the scrum.
Crouch!
Deshay, Sochat and Joyeux up against Gwenllian Pearce, Karis Phillips and Cerys Hale for Wales, but that has gone to ground. It's a penalty to France. Advantage France early on, and it is Cerys Hale, the guilty party on that occasion for collapsing that one. A chance for Tremoulier to put this one into the corner.
Just applying pressure there. The Welsh scrum is going up against one of the most experienced front row sets in the game there with the three French forwards. Unfortunately, you can just see there Cerys Hale's right shoulder just turning in. Unfortunately, that's where the referee deemed that she collapsed first.
So early defensive line-out for Wales. Sochat prepares to throw this one in. Soaring high is the captain Hermé, and France set up a fairly efficient-looking rolling ball. Wales will need to get behind this as it starts to inch now towards that Welsh try line. This is a very efficient rolling ball from France, and now it goes to ground.
It's still in. It's still in.
No scrum half for France. Celine Ferrer just offering herself up as a carrier. And some big carriers in this French pack. We saw Madusu fall over the ball there, 6'2" tall. Very difficult to bring down when she builds up a head of steam. And there is Sansus. The ball goes wide to the right-hand side. It goes into the hands of Caroline Boujard. Just managed to snuff that one out, Wales, but we can see the danger there for France. Boujard back in the side after a lengthy absence, and we know all about how dangerous she is, Philippa.
Yeah, we certainly do, as you mentioned. Hat-trick scorer against Wales last year, but she really is a classy operator out on the wing, but look at the numbers here, the space that France managed to create there, and that's purely because those strong dominant carries in centre field. It's caused the Welsh defence to shorten, and then they just went against the grain there, France. Number 10, Jessie Tremouliere, as you mentioned, World Player of the Decade. Don't underestimate her calibre. She's coming to the latter end of her career. You'd normally see her at fullback, but she's slotting in at 10, where the usual Caroline Rouan is away on sevens duty, but she'll certainly hold the fort there.
Yep, Chloe Jacquet at fullback today for France. Played 12, of course, against Scotland last week, so plenty of shifting around in this three-quarter line. And here comes that live wire scrum half, Sansus, always keeping defences on their toes. She's not scoring tries, she's creating them. And France getting close to the Welsh line now. They have options either side, and they go to the open side, into the hands of Clara Joyer.
Release, Red!
Has just been told to release, and Flean Pierce over the ball there. It appears to have gone forward in the tackle, so another let off for Wales. And pats on the back all round.
You're just chasing the hit, so I need to see stability.
Strong defence there from Wales. You did feel one more carry and potentially they were going to be breaking through. It's actually Hannah Jones there on that ball, just holding her up. Brilliant work from the centre there, forcing that knock on. And like you say, just feeling of relief there. They've got to exit now. That has been Wales' Achilles heel. They haven't been able to get a really good strong boot to the ball and get themselves out of that danger zone.
So another scrum, and this one on the 5-metre line.
Crouch!
So Kara Sale this time will want to get that engagement right. As Philippa said, it's all about presenting that picture to the referee. She doesn't want to be seen as the villain in the piece. France get a bit of a shove on. Shua Lillicrap picking up the base, making some initial good yards. Kira Bevan just marshalling her forwards round the corner, setting up another carry. And they'll just need to think about their exit now. They don't want to be playing too much rugby deep in their own half like this.
Yeah, let it come. Let's stay.
French back standing deep in the backfield, ready for any kick.
Wait forwards.
And Kira Bevan puts it up in the air and directly into touch. So danger averted for now, and that's almost up on the 22-metre line.
Yeah, potentially not the amount of distance that she would have liked on that. It sounded like someone got a bit of a hand to that kick. It sounded like there was a second touch to that, but it's been given as the French line out.
So Hermé, the target last time. Hermé, the target again, soaring high in the middle of that line out. And it's another rolling ball for France. Almost worked for them last time on this left-hand side of the field this time, as they roll now, slowly but surely, crabbing up the field. Wales finding themselves in defensive mode for all of these opening exchanges. And there is Sansus, again just testing that defence, keeping them honest in their space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep, she's over the line, has she got that ball down? It's in the hands of Bethan Lewis. But the whistle has gone, the try has been awarded, and you felt, Philippa, that's been coming for the last 8 minutes.
It certainly has, and sadly again it was a case of not being able to exit with any real distance, allowing France to have an attacking line out in the Welsh 22. This French team, they're clinical, they don't need many invitations to have an attack. But Laura Sansus there, she really had to score that. There were plenty of numbers outside. If she hadn't scored this, she would have had some angry teammates around her, but she backed herself, she did. Went against the grain of traffic and come away with an early score on the board. Message behind the post there now for Wales has got to be off this kickoff now, put pressure on, try and pin France back in their half. Look at this offload though from Jessie Tremouliere. There were 2 players around her and she still managed to get her hands free. That'll be frustrating for the Welsh defence. If you're going to commit 2 players to a tackle, one's got to be on that ball preventing that offload.
Yep, she was already the tournament's top try scorer coming into this game with 4. That takes her up to 5 and out of sight at the top of the try charts. Speaking to Johan Cunningham in the week, and he was saying she is the danger player in these French ranks. As we know, in French rugby, virtually everything goes through the 9s, and this women's side, no exception. A bit more distance on that restart from Eleanor Snowsill.
Outside!
There's a brilliantly returned kick over the head of the Welsh defence. Got a bit of space to run into now. Lillicrap straightens up, looks for contact.
Yeah, the turnover
Nearly a turnover for France there. Bang in front of the posts.
Turnover is fine. Knock on.
But it's a knock-on, a second knock-on for France. And Wales will get possession inside their own half. Bang in the middle of the field.
Let's go, Red.
What an incredible clearance kick there from Lo Sansus. I mean, that had to be 45, 50 metres. Incredible. That is how you want to exit. And all it does, it invites Wales to try and run out of their own half. And really, they're lucky here. That could have been a turnover, and that could have been another attacking scrum to France in their half. Again,
Crouch!
Pressure on Wales now. How can they get out of this area?
Bind! That's both of you guys. We're too far.
So these scrums have been a little bit messy so far.
Okay, it's too far of a distance.
Maggie
Cogger-Orr
is just reiterating she doesn't want any nonsense in this area.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Again, that one's going backwards.
Yeah,
So Lillicrap has to do the dirty work, and that's been charged down. Sansus is on top of it. Where's this ball going to bounce? Into the hands of a Welsh player. Thankfully, that was Robin Wilkins just tidying up there. And Wales under pressure in their own 22 once again. Snowsill, 13 years of test experience.
It's all good. Yeah, we're inside.
Kira Bevan,
Yeah,
another
Red,
opportunity this time. Into the
Wait
pocket,
to be put on. Wait.
into
Stop.
the hands of Wilkins, but that hasn't found touch.
Advantage.
Goes to into Sansus, but an uncharacteristic error from the
She's
French
coming from
scrum
behind
half.
her.
Drops the ball, just took her eye off it momentarily. And that's the
I'll leave you on this
third
side,
knock-on for France now, so they are human, Philip. They do make mistakes.
Yeah.
They are human. You know what Scotland showed last round, although it was a heavy defeat in the end. France beating Scotland 28-8.
Yeah, come up
Scotland
to Mark,
kept
Red.
them to a 0 in the second half, so you can get into them, but you've got to put a load of pressure on. There's a good bit of pressure there from Jasmine Joyce as the wing, but Kira Bevan, she'll be frustrated with that. Just that extra step. Didn't really have the room to move there. Been better off getting that earlier clearance away, but I would actually like to see Wales use the box kit more when they're trying to exit. Bring in the speedsters we've got in the back three.
Right.
Jasmine Joyce, Lisa Neumann, Kaylee Powell.
Yeah.
Put it up, because we're not getting that much
continue
distance
this.
on clearance kicks. Put it up high, invite players to come on, and put a competition
reset.
in the air. So I
Just
really
back
think
five.
Wales
Let's
could
just
get
make
the
sure we're not
rewards
pushing
from
her
it.
early, okay?
Yeah, Jasmine Joyce making the point in the week that her and her back three colleagues haven't seen as much of the ball as they'd have liked to over the last 3 rounds. As you say, some real speedsters in this Welsh back three.
Crouch!
Lisa Neumann on the other wing.
Bind! Set!
So another unstable scrum.
Just instability.
It is a powerful looking Welsh front row. Pearce, Phillips and Hale. We've seen Keris Hale penalised for dropping
Long
one
binds on
scrum,
this side. Long.
and every successive scrum has seen France just edge forwards. As we mentioned earlier,
Crouch!
the best scrum in the tournament, so it's no surprise that they're
Bind!
finding an advantage early on here in Cardiff.
Set!
And it's another penalty
Straight to ground.
to France, and they're
Three.
beginning to mount up now. Keris Hale again, so she's marked her card with the referee. She'll need to be careful.
When the line
Yeah,
is
and what the
done.
referee's
I'll
going to
put
be
my hands
looking
up.
for here is the elbows. Ideally, that elbow should be pointing out to the sideline. As soon as it starts pointing
I'll
down
put
to
my
the
hand up.
ground, that shows that momentum is going down rather than through the
Same thing.
player, and that's where the penalty infringement has been occurred.
So this time, Ferrer is the target in the line-outs, but the tactic remains the same. Tucked in close now to the Welsh touchline, but again, that rolling maul
Same
gets a
ball,
good bit
yeah.
of purchase early on.
Just keep an eye on that.
Bit of a counter shove here from Wales.
Yeah, advantage. 4,
But
red.
the French are so good at this. Sansus
Playing advantage, blue. Wait.
And a little chip over the top from Tremoulier. This is a foot race now. Is it going to fall into the hands of Ménager? Not quite. Just trickles harmlessly over the dead ball line. But it's showing again, France. Got a few tricks in their armoury. They were playing advantage anyway.
Yeah, four, taking the play without the ball.
Rolling maul, while not devastating, Philippa, is quietly efficient.
Yeah, it is, and I think Wales did initially very well at managing to fracture it off, so taking players out of it just reduces the power, the momentum it has going forward. And then unfortunately it was called that Attilia John infringed, so the penalty advantage, but Hannah John from 13 came in and cut off the opportunities France would have really well there.
I just won't free kick you, so you don't need to yell at me every line out. If they're slow, it's not going to be a free kick against you, understand? Yeah, I've just asked them to walk in. She's had an injury. Okay, here we go. Time's on.
She is quite authoritative, the referee tonight, not taking any nonsense from either side. Socha again finds her target. The French line-out operating very efficiently. And this time Wales do swim through the middle of that maul and disrupt it. Good initial defence from Wales. And they win the ball back, and look at those roars of approval.
8 collapsing. Sorry.
It appeared they'd won the penalty, but seemingly it went the other way. They were penalised for collapsing. A look of utter disbelief on Siouan Lillicrap's face.
In this end of the field, we need to be careful.
But it means another attacking lineup for France.
You just heard there, the referee said, in this position of the field, you need to be careful. That's normally a subtle way of saying if we keep seeing this, we could see a card.
Again, Hermé, such a reliable source of line-out ball. But was that a bit of a truck and trailer scenario? Yes. Penalty to Wales and another reprieve. So all the possession, all the territory is in France's favour. But aside from that one Sansus break,
and you're in front of her.
Wales are keeping that try line intact.
No, but you don't have the ball. You don't have the ball. Yeah, obstruction.
So Gaël Hermé, the French captain, understandably upset with that decision, but that is not the exit Wales were looking for.
Yes, the old truck and trailer there, players in front of the ball carrier, just means that you can't be, it's not competitive, it's not allowing Wales a chance to get that ball.
So Lillicrap going through a usual work rate here this evening, carrying hard into the French defence. Keris Hale adding her weight as well as Wales look to play their way out of danger, but they've lost the ball in contact again. Successful turnover from France, and they are not letting Wales breathe here so far in Cardiff. Tremoulier delicately chips the ball into touch, and we revert to familiar territory, an attacking line-out for France, 6 or 7 metres out from the line.
So who, with the, I'll just talk to you, with the line out. So again, the girl with the ball has got 2 French players in front of her. She has to be, if you have the ball, you have to be at the front.
Yeah, but she has the ball and then...
Yeah, but there's someone from your team here. That's not allowed. The ball has to be at the front. Yeah, so the lifter is going in front of her, so it's obstruction. Okay. Yeah, perfect. She's the lifter though, right? Or after the transfer?
So bad news this for Wales. Siouan Lillicrap is leaving the field. She doesn't look happy.
So you need to be behind the ball
she's walking fairly comfortably. So whether this is a temporary replacement or not, we'll have to wait and see. Could be a head injury assessment.
Yeah, she looked a little shaky coming up from that last big collision, so potentially just precaution here. Get her checked. And on comes Sinead Harries, certainly a crowd favourite. Exactly the position that you want Sinead Harries coming in for, to defend the try line.
Guys, it's just
such a physical presence, real leader in the team. She gets everyone motivated. She just brings that extra bit of bite, extra little bit of edge.
Yeah, such competition now in this Welsh back row. Sinead Harries back from a year or two in the international wilderness, and very much earned their place back. Straight into the thick of it now, as Wales have to defend their line. It's been a long opening quarter for Wales, but they've managed to limit France to just the 7 points so far. Saint-Sus goes digging for the ball. Strong carry from Julian Henry. Through contact over the gain line. Saint-Sus, quick ball again to fall.
Ball's available.
Wales competing hard at this breakdown, but the ball is back on the French side. Goes now to Ménager. Tremoulier, all the time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. We may have to have a look at this again.
I think Boujard was in front of the kicker.
Joy Neville is on the case there.
Okay, so we should check. Okay, yep. Okay, Ollie, I'm going to come to you. Got a grounding by blue. Okay, Ollie, I'm going to come to you. On-field decision is try, because we do have a grounding by the blue player. We just want to check how it got there to make sure everything's all in line. If not, I'm going to come back and offer 2 options for a late tackle or tackler not rolling away.
Okay, do you want me to wait for you to get the screen?
Sure, yep.
Okay.
So it seems Joy Neville's happy that Boujard was onside.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not
Yeah,
the ball
Ollie,
was
can we also just
successfully
first clear
grounded.
that she's on? Oh, sorry, okay.
We'll get a wide shot first to make sure of that.
Perfect, thank you.
See, for me, she was either exactly in line or she was in front. It was very close. You just saw there the French backs had a lot of time on that swing back play. They managed to suck in so many Welsh defenders.
Maggie, we're just going to try and get a wide shot first to make sure she's onside, and then we'll check the grounding.
Sounds good.
This would be good to see. Unfortunately, that angle doesn't actually show us where the winger started.
Can't see her on this one either.
Okay, Maggie, we haven't got anything wide enough to check that she's on, but we think she's on, so we're going to check the grounding now.
Yeah, live we've got
She's
her
either
onside by Joy,
lightning
so I'm
quick,
happy for
which
that.
we know
Yes.
she
Okay.
is,
She is, but...
or
Oh, see? I think that's close.
yeah, it looks good from that angle.
So this is the best angle here.
So Jazz Joyce gets her hand to it first. She seems to be robbed in midair.
Maggie, we're just going to get one from the other side.
If we can see the angle from the other side, we should
Yes, you can go
have a
back with your own
definitive,
team.
but
Thank you.
that looks to me, Philippa,
Yeah, Maggie,
like it's a try.
you want to...
Yeah. So
Maggie.
Or
yeah,
she loses
Ollie?
control from that
Yeah,
angle.
I'm happy that she's control of the ball and the ball is grounded, so you can stick with your on-field decision and award the try.
Yeah, I agree, thank you. Guys, try stands. Yeah, try. I'll run back and award it.
So definitive from the TMO.
Yeah, they're sweeping and nothing's come through.
Caroline
you the
Boujard
new
did
skipper?
maintain control of the ball.
And to be fair now, they've got that new sort of
Just awarded it,
wording now, haven't they? That it's almost not in control of the ball, it is their clear separation from the hand and ball. So it's a grey area, and in essence it says you might not actually be in control, but as long as there is no daylight between your hand and the ball, then it's okay and the try can be given. But I would question whether she was onside. Like I say, she was either immaculately poised within a millimetre or she was just edging that, but still you do have the feeling that a try was coming in some way, shape or form. For Wales, they haven't been in the French half so far. 20 minutes in, it's really quite a testament to their defence that they are only 2 tries in the debt for that.
Tremoulier, 100% off the tee so far. Casually swings her leg at that one. And there was never any doubt from the moment it left the tee. Fantastic conversion from Tremoulier. And as Philippa says, it could be a lot worse. Wales were 19-0 down at this stage against England and have defended well. And that defence is holding up strong, but we're talking about a team that are a couple of years ahead of Wales in their development. As Snowsill restarts, and Wales desperate to get a bit of field position now. Another strong carry from Julian Henry
No, red!
in the French
Wait.
back row.
Good.
Good take. Now spin it along their backline. A little bit of room to manoeuvre for Jasmine Joyce. Not much though. Kira Bevan. Nice tip on pass there. Good carry from the prop, Gwenllian Pierce. Wilkins plays with her head up. Doesn't find its target, but Hannah Jones scoops up the messy ball. Wales approaching the halfway line now. Kira Bevan looking for quick ball from the base of this ruck. There's Karis Phillips. Nice tip on pass to Sinead Harris. Good angle from the reserve back rower. This is better from Wales now. Bit of continuity. Keris Hale. Up to the halfway line. Snowser looking for that edge. Jazz Joyce has to reach behind her to catch that ball. And she's snagged in the tackle. But Wales hold on to possession. They're just trying to develop this now. Gwen Crabb. Almost overcomplicating things now, Wales. That French defence is up fast. That's what just led to an error, forced Wales into an error. And sadly for them, after their most promising set of phases since the opening whistle, they've unfortunately knocked it on, scrum down to France.
That's probably the most amount of possession that we've actually seen from Wales. And as much as, yes, we want to see these tip-on passes because that's when you're running against weak shoulders in the defensive line, but it has to be clearer communication than what we saw there. We just saw runners a couple of times overrunning, some missed timing. But then equally, you've got to give credit to this French defensive line. They are flying up out of the blocks. So it just takes that little bit of adjustment, getting used to how much deeper you need to stand, how much earlier you need to time your run. It's a shame they couldn't make the benefit of that because they made some good go forward there.
Yeah, they're sweeping, but just make sure
strung a few phases together there. Looked a bit more imaginative. Looked for the edge initially with Jazz Joyce. And then some nice tip-on passes, some good interplay among the forwards.
I think that was some of the under-18 girls doing fantastically well in the first ever under-18 Six Nations Championship that happened last week. Undefeated.
For you, if you can get your feet further underneath you, that will help me.
Really promising signs. So much positivity around.
So if you can give me a good
women's rugby in Wales at the moment,
I should be able to see her coming
supply line is looking good as well.
What are we doing here, team? Okay.
Romain Menager there stepping in at 8. We've seen Emmeline Grow play at 8 for the last 3 games.
Is she coming back, or?
Romain Menager is an incredible athlete. And as you mentioned, sister on the field, so it might look like she is absolutely everywhere, but she's not. Her sister, Maureen Menager, is playing on the wing.
She's going to stay on? Okay.
Yeah, in an interview, she said that they can be told apart from their hairstyles alone. That's the only,
it's the only
difference between the two. One has a ponytail and one has a bun.
And to be fair, both are fast, both are strong, so they could interchange their positions if they want, I dare say, as well.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? They're identical twins, so they're the same dimensions. Yeah, one's a number 8 and one's a wing.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Yeah.
Crouch!
Both ply their trade for Montpellier as well, so inseparable in French colours and in club colours. The Menager sisters. Sansous feeds the ball into another steady French scrum. It's at Menager's feet, and we come onto the open side. Welsh defence is up, but France just giving their passes away. Trying to find Menager on the left wing, but the ball goes to ground. They do make mistakes, this French side.
I think your mic's in the jacket, so
Speaking to, Sinead Harris, just
that's enough.
taking exception to something there.
Get out. Back up.
And the imposing figure of Madusu Fall, acting peacemaker
Anything in that?
between the two sides.
Back up.
No one's going to mess with her.
That was a good drift defence there by Wales, limiting the French options in that wide channel. So that's where you just saw the fullback,
We'll play the knock-on.
Chloe Jacquet, tried to bring the winger in on a switch pass. Fortunately, didn't quite go to hand for them, and there was a knock-on, but good defence from Wales.
Yeah, it's been the story of the half so far, isn't it? Courageous defence from Wales, organised defence from Wales, but
is it worth having
they
a chat,
cannot
Ollie?
get hold and keep hold of the ball.
Okay, time's off. Sorry, guys. 6 blue and 20 red pushing off the ball. Okay, just any penalties or just?
Both at it, so
okay, perfect.
Tell the red player not to hold the blue player on the floor,
okay,
and the blue player not to retaliate.
So 6 blue, 20 red.
Yes.
Okay, can I just grab the captains, guys? Captain? Captain? Okay, so what we've had here, 20 blues holding someone on the ground. Yeah. 6 blue has reacted to it. We just don't need it. Both teams have then also had other people come in and continue the push and shove. Yeah. So there's not going to be any penalties this time, but next time when the whistle goes, we stop, or we'll just start dishing out cards calling penalties, and I don't want to do that. Okay. Can you just both have a word about that, and then we'll restart?
You never got involved in any of the rough stuff, did you, Philippa?
I always felt there needed to be someone observing, you know? I was always a good witness.
The peacemaker.
That's
from
it.
afar.
And hey, that is Sinead Harries. You know, I always think the ultimate testament to players, the player you love to play with, but ultimately hated to play against. And that for me was always Sinead Harries. She has that bite. She's just got to make sure that everything is within the law. She doesn't get on the wrong side of the referee, because she's an impactful player and Wales need her right now.
I certainly do. Captain Siwan Lillicrap is off the field for a HIA, and Sinead Harris, she does it with a smile on her face. Smiling assassin. Here we go then. Scrum to Wales this time in their own half. France get a shove on again, but a bit of a counter shove from Wales. Snowsill gets the ball in a bit of space. Nice pass from Wilkins. Wales trying to run it out their own half. Good tackle on Katie Powell. Wales do need to be careful. They want to hold on to the ball, but it may not be the wisest move to run into the teeth of this aggressive French defence. Certainly not in their own half anyway. But given they've had such little possession, they'll be reluctant to kick it away too. Penalty Wales. French hands in that ruck, not releasing.
Yeah.
And Kira Bevan looks to take this one quickly. Scampers upfield and chips the ball over the top into the hands of Chloé Jacquet. And France start a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space opened up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Just when Wales look to be attacking themselves, France with a killer blow, and it shows just how clinical they can be.
And you know, you say as a back you want space, but this is a class example of what you can do with limited space. Chloé Jacquet, just a series of 2v1s, but how often have we seen them absolutely butchered, especially in the 5-metre channel? But that was pinpoint accuracy, backed up then with a lovely little step. Here we see the initial bust, 2v1, 2v1 again, textbook, training park, and then what a killer step on the inside. Quite often see Chloé Jacquet on the World 7 Series. She is an incredibly strong runner, just got that bite in that step.
Brilliant skills from France. Scored a try versus Italy in round 1, did Chloé Jacquet. She's got one against Wales as well. And would you believe it? Jessie Tremoulier has missed a kick, her first missed kick of the campaign. And Siwan Lillicrap returns to the field for Wales, fit to resume. And Sinead Harris, after making her presence felt in the 7 or 8 minutes she was on, she returns to the bench. I'm sure we'll see her at some point in the second half. So 19-0 the score after that unsuccessful conversion. And Chloé Jacquet of Lyon just showing quite how dangerous she can be. Interplay with Sansus, another assist for the French scrum half, as we mentioned earlier. If she's not scoring tries, she's assisting. And she is quite the player now. France with a bit between their teeth. They look to attack again from inside their own half, showing Wales perhaps how it's done. Boujard close to the touchline. And Wales have turned this one over now. Then what can Wales do in counter-attack? There's a good charge from the prop forward. Elena Snowsill in the pocket. And Natalia Johns, Gwen Crabb rather, just dispossessed in the tackle. Another opportunity for France to counter-attack. And that is a big hole opened up there for Philippon. She cuts back inside. Where's the support? Juliana on her shoulder like all good flankers. Ménager. The passes keep coming They offload more than any team in this championship, and now there is acres of space if this can find Philippon. Jacquet again, just moments after she scored a try, but the pass goes behind Boujard. The try line was at her mercy, and that is one gone begging for France.
Wow, big credit in the heart of the defence of Wales there. Talk about a scramble. Just so unfortunate there for Natalia John, couldn't keep her hands on that. But talk about turning defence into attack. Romain Ménager there with a massive offload, and France will be kicking themselves here how they didn't convert this. Incredible work rate though from Hannah Jones, and then Jasmine Joyce coming out of nowhere to make that last-ditch tackle there. But it was the pressure from Hannah Jones forcing the pass, didn't go to hand. Bit of a lifesaver.
Yeah, brilliant scramble defence from Wales. It looked like there was an ocean of space out there on the right-hand side, but they closed it down swiftly, and Hannah Jones, as you mentioned, made a few key incursions in defence this evening.
Set.
So the pressure remains on. It is a Welsh feed, but they are very close once again to their own try line. And somehow France have dispossessed Wales and snuck over for another try for Laure Saint-Sus, the arch predator. 6 tries now in this campaign to date. Wales look furious. How on earth did that happen?
And that is exactly what they'll be asking themselves. Psychologically, that is such a tough one to take as a team. Oh, look, you just see there, unfortunately, Siwan Lillicrap loses control of the ball at the base of the scrum. But when you've defended that well, that gutsy, and then to concede so soft there, that's a really frustrating one for Wales.
Just shows how alert she is to the danger all the time. Welsh ball came in out on the Welsh side, but she was the first to get her hands to it. Laure Saint-Sus, brilliant scrum half.
Yeah, she's really good. And you know what? Arguably, she isn't even the starting scrum half for France. Pauline Bourdon is actually in more favour. Unfortunately, she got injured just before the Six Nations, so we haven't seen her this year, but it'd be so exciting to see the competition between those two when Pauline Bourdon is fit and back in the mix.
It's intriguing, isn't it? Oh, another beautiful kick from Tremoulier. Recovered from her last miss, a shock of a miss. You can often see her miss from the tee. And her eye is back in. Jasmine Joyce has left the field for a HIA as well after that challenge on Boujard. And yeah, as Philippa says, incredible to think Saint-Sus may not be the out-and-out first choice. Alexandra Chambon actually started the tournament ahead of her, didn't she? A third option.
Yeah, she did. She's an exciting player. She's young, she's 19, 20 years old. And, you know, she looked it when she played against Italy. Didn't quite have the edge that Pauline Bourdon has, or Laure Saint-Sus, but she's one for the future. And this is Niamh Terry coming on. She's an exciting one for the future. Captain the under-18 sevens, can play 9, centre, fullback. A real utility player, also played out of fly half as well, so a knowledgeable player as well.
Yep, the first appearance of the campaign as well. Niamh Terry, last time out was against South Africa here in the autumn. And that is a brilliant run again from Philippon. She's been relatively quiet in the opening quarter, but she's had a couple of surging runs in the last 5 minutes or so. And Wales will need to close her down earlier, because once she builds up a head of steam, she is very difficult to stop. Clara Joyeux showing the front row forwards can do just as well as the backs. And there's Saint-Sus out to Tremoulier. Good defence from Wales. Up quickly, knocking France back in the tackle. The spirit is still strong in this Wales camp, despite the fact they're now 4 tries down to France.
Step, guys. Still in, it's still in.
So knock on again from Saint-Sus. The second time the scrum half has made an unforced error. And for the second time, there's a little bit of afters.
So knock on here. Don't come in.
A little bit of spirit being shown from both sides here, Philippa. It shows how much it means to them both.
It's a fine line though, isn't it?
They're sweeping, nothing comes through.
Red mist can be an incredibly powerful thing channeled in the right way, in a controlled way. When it starts to blur the vision and blur the thought, then it can actually work against you.
So that second Sansu's try, which gave France the bonus point, means if they do go on to win this game, it's another bonus point victory, maximum points, which keeps the pressure on England at the top of that table. England, of course, play Ireland this weekend, going for their 4th championship in a row, the Red Roses. And Lillicrap to Bev in the scrum half. And that's a good surge from Hannah Jones. Well tackled, though, by France. As we come back, same side, round the corner, Shuan Lillicrap thundering into contact as always, making those precious yards. Beth Lewis making her first start of the campaign today. And free kick to Wales.
Do you have a number, Ben? 8, side entry.
So it's Ménager, the guilty party, side entry into that last ruck, Snow Sill.
Sorry, 13, side entry.
And we're not quite into the 22, but this is probably, with 33 minutes on the clock, the best attacking position Wales have been in since the game began. As Carys-Phillips prepares to throw in. I was just about to say, brilliant darts, but it was a judge not straight.
And you know what? She has been so consistent.
Scrum.
22 out of 24 throws have been on the money so far in this campaign. So that's frustrating. It is windy out there, we'll say that, but equally it hasn't really troubled the French line out, so I'm not sure it's strong enough to really trouble there.
Yeah, as you say, statistically the best hooker in the tournament for throwing in thus far, so uncharacteristic that from Carys-Phillips, but she's not had many opportunities tonight to get her eye in.
Okay. Just keep your feet underneath you. You can move them once, but not more than once. Just one movement.
So just over 5 minutes left in this first half
really
here in Cardiff.
Let's keep going.
A commanding lead for France, 26-0 the score.
Don't push her. Just stay here.
Wales
That's the mark.
are
She's left.
in the French half.
She's left.
I haven't been here very often so far in this first half, but it's French ball and an opportunity to clear their lines. After that wayward line-out throw from Carys-Phillips, that's Lisa Butchers there on the blind side flank. She's been in fine form so far this tournament.
Set! Use it. Yep.
It's another good shot from France, but it's a messy scrum, and Ménager was hit by Butchers beyond the gain line, and Butchers has stripped the ball, so Wales could turn things around here. Chance to counter-attack as they go up the blind side. That's messy again, but Carys-Phillips tidies up on the floor. Can Wales realign, snap into attack mode now? Good strong carry there from Cara Hope. And Wales go blind again. This time to Keris Hale. Using their big forwards to try and punch some holes initially. There's Alicia Butchers. The French defensive line looks pretty strong, but it's a penalty to Wales.
4. Completing the clean out.
Céline Ferrer, the French second row at fault. And another chance for Eleanor Snowsill to put this ball into French territory. That time she gets it inside the 22. 4 minutes to go, and how precious, Philippa, would a Welsh score be at this stage in the game?
Wales, let's go.
It'd be absolutely crucial when you consider, thinking back to the last time Wales played France, that was away at half-time. It was 31-0, and unfortunately went on to remain at a 0 for Wales. So any points on the board for Wales will genuinely show a progression in their play.
But it's another messy line-out. It was straight enough this time, but it didn't find its target. Wales fortunate, though, that it was a French knock-on. Patted the ball to ground, so they will get another opportunity. It'll be a scrum this time, yep, you can see that.
Actually, I'll stay on the side, actually.
Just swimming across the line-out, knocking it out of the hands of Elisa Butchers.
Yeah, we're just having the HAA come back on, so 17. Time's off.
And there we are. Cara Hope's cameo is short-lived. Gwenllian Pierce comes back onto the field. Sheepdog trainer, Gwen Fempier sat on her farm in Bangor, by all accounts.
There you go.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
So again, all night that French scrum's just getting a bit of a shove on, but that's a beautiful angle from Hannah Jones. We've seen her in defence all night. A chance now in attack. There is a bit of space on the left-hand side if Wales chip the ball early. They don't. They've kept hold of it though. That's a good, solid leg drive. And Wales are edging further towards the try line now. Can they conjure something in the last exchanges of this opening half? Butcher's acting as scrum half.
Tackle, release!
France being told to release. 5 metres short now, Wales. The heavy artillery arrives. Front row forwards binding onto one another, just trying to creak over for an extra couple of yards. How precious this would be now if Wales can get a score as half-time approaches. Lillicrap stands up, readies herself for another carry. Wales keeping it tight. There's Lillicrap.
Release, move!
France again being told to release, inching ever closer here, Wales.
Yeah, advantage. Offside.
When do they pull the trigger? Advantage being played, France offside. They must be careful, France. Now it goes left, and left again. Oh, just doesn't find the hands of Niamh Terry on the left-hand touchline. Advantage being played. All is not lost. But easily the best attacking sequence Wales have had all night.
And it all came from that momentum of Kayleigh Powell, that strong carry she had, and then she had the nous on the floor to let go of the ball, regather it and go again. Post-collision, she probably made the most amount of metres that any Welsh player has made so far, and that was the catalyst to the attack.
Absolutely, hugely powerful surge from the fullback into the line.
Time's off.
And now then, just over 30 seconds until the half-time whistle blows.
So
and Wales with their tails up. Jazz Joyce back on the field. She's passed her HIA. That means Niamh Terry's cameo is over for now. Could so easily have been a try-scoring cameo, but a misunderstanding there. And Wales have maintained possession, but they've lost a few yards.
You're offside. 3
And that's
offside.
the end of it now for Wales, unfortunately, for this half. Such a promising sequence.
Entry.
Ultimately, it's come to nothing.
She's coming.
So virtually no distance at all on that kick from Jessie Tremoulier.
She could have looked more casual making that kick. I can't quite understand that.
Well,
She
she
just
does
invited
in virtually
pressure.
everything she does, but on that occasion, perhaps she should have paid a bit more attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classic Gallic insouciance. So the line-out is France's, but it's from pretty much where Tremoulier took the kick. Into the hands of Hermé. And it's a formality. They just need to secure possession, get it off the pitch. And there is the star of the half, really. Sansus, 2 tries to her name and a catalyst for that French attack. And a bit of positivity from Wales to end the half, but ultimately the scoreboard does not lie. 26-0, the half-time score. A mounted to climb in the second half.
touch to that,
yn y
but
zone
it's been
coch,
given
fel
as the
maen nhw'n
French
gweud,
line
yr
out.
ardal peryglis. So mae'n rhaid I Cymru I fod
So
ar dop y
Hermé,
gêm
the
fan hyn
target
nawr.
last time. Hermé, the target again, soaring high in the middle of that line out. And it's another rolling ball for France. Almost worked for them last time on this left-hand side of the field this time as they roll now. Slowly but surely, crabbing up the field. Wales finding themselves in defensive mode for all of these opening exchanges. And there is Sansus again just testing that defence, keeping them honest. And there's space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep. She's over the line. Has she got that ball down? It's in the hands of Bethan Luton themselves in defensive mode for all of these opening exchanges. And there is Sansus again just testing that defence, keeping them honest. And there's space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep. She's over the line. Has she got that ball down? It's in the hands of Bethan Luton. Wales finding themselves in defensive mode for all of these opening exchanges. And there is Sansus again just testing that defence, keeping them honest. And there's space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep. She's over the line. Has she got that ball down? It's in the hands of Bethan Lewis. But the whistle has gone in themselves in defensive mode for all of these opening exchanges. And there is Sansus again just testing that defence, keeping them honest. And there's space now. Sansus cuts back inside, sidestep. She's over the line. Has she got that ball down? The try has been awarded. And you felt, Philippa, that's been coming for the last 8 minutes.
It certainly has, and sadly again it was a case of not being able to exit with any real...
Wales competing hard at this breakdown, but the ball is back on the French side. Goes now to Ménager. Tremoulier all the time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. Goes now to Ménager. Tremoulier all the time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. Tremoulier all the time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. But Boujard, look at this again.
I think Boujard was in front of the kicker.
Tremoulier all the time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. But Boujard, look at this again.
I think Boujard was in front of the kicker.
Time in the world, goes to Boujard, but it's a cruel bounce. Does it land in Boujard's hands? It does. But Boujard, look at this again.
Gan Gymru,
Cadw'r looks to take this one quickly. Scampers upfield and chips the ball over the top into the hands of Chloe Jacquet. And France still a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space open up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Just when Wales look to be attacked to kick it away too. Penalty Wales. French hands in that ruck, not releasing. And Cadw'r looks to take this one quickly. Scampers upfield and chips the ball over the top into the hands of Chloe Jacquet. And France still a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space open up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Just when Wales look to be a ball over the top into the hands of Chloe Jacquet. And France still a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space open up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Just when Wales look to be attacking themselves into the hands of Chloe Jacquet. And France start a counter-attack of their own. Sansus, this is Jacquet, lovely step inside. There's clear space opened up in front of her. Has she got the pace to get to the line? Yes, she has! What a counter-attack from France. Just when Wales look to be attacking themselves, France with a killer blow. So the pressure remains on. It is a Welsh feed, but they are very close once again to their own try line. And somehow France have dispossessed Wales and snuck over for another try for Lawson. So the pressure remains on. It is a Welsh feed, but they are very close once again to their own try line. And somehow France have dispossessed Wales and snuck over for another try for Lawson, the arch predator. So the pressure remains on. It is a Welsh feed, but they are very close once again to their own try line. And somehow France have dispossessed Wales and snuck over for another try for Lawson, the
Big second half leaded by Wales. Come on, Cymru! Come on, Wales!
Babe, I'll just get you to watch these ones.
Jessie Tremoulier, the most casual woman in Cardiff, starts the second half into the hands of Beth Lewis. And Wales will be desperate to try and build on some of that positive momentum shown at the end of the first half. They're a long way down on the scoreboard.
Wait here,
But
wait.
we've seen plenty of spirit in this Welsh team over the course of this championship. In fact, their first two victories were comebacks. They weren't as far behind as this on the scoreboard, though, so the ultimate challenge awaits in this second half. Let's see if that half-time team talk has had an effect. Good distance on that kick from Tremoulier. Well fielded by Jazz Joyce. And that's how she runs into a brick wall there in the form of Madusu Fall. That's a good strong carry from Natalia John. A former physics teacher, plays for Bristol Bears.
Hold. Thank you.
And Wales will just need to keep hold of the ball in this half and try and get some territory, because they spent so much of that first half stuck inside their own half. And when they did get the ball and tried to play out, they found themselves running into a French brick wall.
Let it come, Red. Wait here. Wait, Blue. Stay.
Real box of tricks at fly half. So many kicks in her repertoire. Isolated there, Wales. Jazz Joyce manages to hold on to possession as she's dragged to the floor.
Wait here, Red.
But Wales going backwards rather than forwards, and Eleanor Snowsill thinks enough of this. Finds grass between Tremoulier and Jacquet. And we've seen how dangerous Jacquet can be in open play. She looks to step inside Natalia John, but John wraps her up in the tackle. That's Boujard with an interesting looking kick that's gone straight into touch. So Wales will have a line out inside French territory.
Great bit of pressure there early on from Wales.
Touch.
It was interesting, wasn't it, from Richard Whiffen there, the assistant coach. It's all about possession, territory, key message. I actually spoke to Johan Cunningham after the England game when they were going down in a similar situation at half-time. What do you say to the players? And he said it's all about short goals. Next 10 minutes, don't think about anything else, just win the next 10 minutes.
Sansus, so dangerous. Look, she's still going, exploiting another wayward Welsh lineup, but possession back in Wales' hands now. And a lively start to this opening second half.
Knock on advantage, Red.
Unfortunately for Karis Phillips, she failed to find her target in the line out again, which led to that Law Sansus break.
Hold on, advantage over.
Possession turned over, back in Welsh hands, back in French hands now. Jessie Tremoulier into her opposite number, Eleanor Snowsill. France back in Wales territory, but penalty Wales this time. Another breakdown penalty, and that's one area of the game Wales have had a little bit of change out of France tonight. The battle on the floor. Karis Phillips. Safely into touch from Snowsill. And there's Karis Phillips over the ball. Great position. Difficult to shift.
This is the middle.
Yeah, really good body position. Good work from Natalia John as well, getting out of the way.
And there's a very proud father, Roland Phillips, the dual-code international. Former Wales women's coach, of course. And he is the father of Karis Phillips, the former Wales captain. Here's Jazz Joyce in a bit of space. Round fall this time. Bounces off the tackle. Showing power as well as footwork. Jazz Joyce, the speedster, getting an opportunity with ball in hand. It's penalty Wales, quickly taken by Ciara Bevan. Elisa Butchers on her shoulder, Jazz Joyce the other side. Joyce into traffic again, this time Fall gets her to the ground. Bit of revenge perhaps for being sidestepped moments ago. But Wales still have the ball. Promising this from Wales. Nice tip on pass to Natalia John, but she's met in the tackle from France. Again, some big hits going in that one from Deshay, the loosehead prop. Wales still controlling the ball at the moment. And there goes Gwenllian Pierce. Bevan. Wilkins. Elisa Butchers on the angle. Wrapped up by two French tacklers. Good line from Sue-Ann Lillicrap. Crashing over the gain line. Anticipating the pass from Bevan. Bevan whips it away again. Into Beth Lewis. She's been industrious. Lovely break from Bevan. Lovely break from Ciara Bevan. Nearly gets free of the tackle. Like her opposite number, Laura Sansus in the first half.
Advantage. Got the advantage, Red.
This is good from Wales. Need to keep their composure now. Hannah Jones crashes into contact. Took two French players to bring her to the floor. Still in possession. Bevan controlling things. Keris Hale.
Still playing advantage line.
This is good for Wales. Keeping hold of possession. Some big hits coming in. Celine Ferrer. Wales not to be denied, though. Another penalty for Wales. And France all of a sudden feeling the pressure.
Good bit of phase play from Wales. They're really starting to connect with those little tip-on passes. Just that one extra pass from a forward carry was just gaining them a couple of extra meters on each one. A lovely little snipe around the edge there from Ciara Bevan. She brings such tempo to the game. I feel like she's been playing really on the back foot for the first half. We haven't really been able to see her an attacking threat. Look at that gap there. Criminal defence from France. You never move away. The first two players, left and right of the ruck, sometimes called A's or guards, they do not move.
Good. Okay.
And there was no one there. Great defence there from Laure Saint-Sus. Like every good 9, just sweeping up the backfield.
Yep, as you say, when she's on the front foot, she's as dangerous as her opposite number with the ball in hand is Ciara Bevan.
Bind!
Back in that starting jersey after
Anything, Joy?
coming off the bench against England in round 3. And Jazz Joyce, has been good to see her getting the ball in her hands a bit more in the last 20 minutes or so of this game.
I'll just stand just to make sure
A
it's
real
stable.
handful. She's slight of build as Jazz Joyce, but she's not shy of contact.
Incredibly powerful effort.
Bind! Set!
So here we go, strong attacking position for Wales. They need to keep that platform steady. Ciara Bevan darts to Jazz Joyce. Patience required now from Wales. No white line fever, and just as I say that, a brilliant turnover from France. Despair for Wales. Another promising sequence comes to an end.
It's not quick enough to the breakdown there, Wales. Jasmine Joyce just trying to get on the outside edge of the defending player. Made a good bit of ground forward there. So Neumann was holding her width, which is good for the winger to do. As soon as you see that contact's imminent, you've got to change your line of direction. Here we see the play. There's plenty of space there. But there you see Lisa Neumann. She's holding her width, which, like I say, is good, but you've got to just maybe hold an extra meter back. Give yourself that opportunity to be able to change direction and come in support.
Yeah, just that bit isolated, wasn't she, Jazz Joyce, and gave the opportunity for France to dive over that ball, secure possession, danger averted, and France's try line remains intact. Sosha, long ball this time into the arms of Annery. But Lisa Butcher's snaffling possession like she's done a couple of times so far this evening. Clenched fist. And this is good for Wales after so long in that first half where they struggled to get hold of the ball, struggled to get any field position. They are now enjoying a bit of extended time in French territory.
Yeah, you know, if Johan Cunningham did say, just think about the next 10 minutes, just win the next 10 minutes, they certainly have done that. They've been playing in the right areas of the field. They've managed to string some phases together. All important attack now off set piece. Fionn Lewis in at scrum half, change there.
Angle.
Another scrum penalty against Wales. That's
Three.
Keris Hale
Nothing
again.
square. Yeah, I know.
The referee is
Don't run into
keeping a beady eye on everything she's doing in that front row. And that is frustrating for Wales as Tremoulier puts France back up towards Welsh territory.
Yeah. Time's off.
It's a line out bang on the halfway
9 and
line.
7. 9,
As
7.
France took to make a substitution of their own. And it is 2 at scrum half. Alexandra Chambon coming on for the double try scorer, Laure Saint-Sus. And number 19 coming on as well, Audrey Folani into the second row. And it looks like it's Céline Ferrer leaving the field.
Yeah, time's on. Just stay in the 15, okay?
No, it's actually the captain, Gaël Khomé, who's left the field. Folani on for her, and look at this charge. Look at this run from full, still going. Great attempt at a tackle from Neumann. Manages to drag her down, but that was a massive galloping surge from forward. But once again, as we've seen on a number of occasions here this evening in Cardiff, France put together 2 or 3 phases and then make an error to give possession back to Wales. It's something Johan Cunningham spoke about in the week, how they actually piece together fewer phases than any other team in the tournament. They're very clinical when they get the ball in counter-attack, and they're very clinical in the red zone, but often in open play their concentration lets them down, and we've seen that on more than a few occasions tonight.
What a run. 2, 3, 4 Welsh players desperately trying to get it down.
Madusu Fall will be fuming with her colleagues for letting an opportunity like that go to waste.
Bind! Set!
She is a giant in that second row. 6'2", 14 caps. And it is another penalty to France. They are racking up now in the visitors' favour. We've got a couple of warnings already from the referee about repeated offences.
Number 2, sorry. Yep.
And, you can imagine Siwan Lillicrap will be telling her players to make sure they stay on the right side of the law, because the last thing they need at this stage is to find themselves a player down.
Yeah. Time's off. Subs for you guys.
Every scrum this evening, whether it's Wales's feed or France's feed, it's always gone backwards from a Welsh perspective.
Yeah, unfortunately, so the size of that French pack just showing it's got the edge at the moment over the Welsh.
So we saw a brief cameo from Sinead Harris in the first half, and she's on for good now as captain Siwan Lillicrap leaves the field. And brilliantly taken again from Juliana Reed. Really athletic target in the line out as France set up this rolling maul. Really disheartening for Wales after enjoying so much possession and territory. France now in the red zone and already looking a bit more clinical with the try line at their mercy.
20, not rolling.
The ball's buried in there somewhere. It's a penalty against Wales. Sinead Harris not rolling away, so France have a free shot at this as they struggle to get the ball down. The whistle blows.
From there, 2 movements. 20.
A double movement, but we'll come back for that offence against Sinead Harris.
Jackler's good. 20's not rolling.
Who will be captain now in Lillicrap's absence?
Yeah, it'll be Hannah Jones.
Yeah,
yeah, that was always pre-described before the Six Nations began. She would always take over that.
And she's certainly shown leadership already tonight, is Hannah Jones.
Sorry, one more time from you, Joy.
So we see the infringement here. Yeah, Sinead Harris, she's sticking out her legs as well, which doesn't really help. You've got to make a bit more of an effort to get out of that area.
The middle. Come off. I'll make them come in.
So difficult, isn't it, when you're pinned in that position?
Absolutely.
You've got to look like you're trying, even if you're not.
Yes.
Okay. Time's on.
So here is Idatha Sochat, and fresh on the field, Audrey Falani takes that ball for France as they again
get out now, Red.
Get out,
Leave it.
not looking to pull the trigger yet when they know they can get so much advantage in this rolling ball. And Keris Hale and Fall having a little to do off the ball as well, and the ball has found itself back into Wales' hands. And the Snowsill playing scrum half. And this is the area Philip has talked about a lot so far this evening, exits. And Wales have found themselves deep in their own territory. How do they find themselves safely back up the field?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, 3 and 5. 3 and 5. Stay there, stay.
We did see that, didn't we? Madusu
back
Fall
there,
and Keris Hale.
Pushing and shoving off the ball. Both of you. No more. Understand? Let it go. Play rugby. Good? Okay. Understand? Okay. Subs are coming in.
Short and sweet.
Sorry,
just stop it. Was the message from the referee.
It's actually
3, I think you are coming
Gwen
off.
Crabb there just holding her
Yeah, 3 red.
beyond the ruck situation. It then escalated to involve other players.
Yeah, water off, guys. Water off. It's not an injury. Water off.
And there we are. That is the last action
water off,
for
guys.
Keris Hale. It's been a difficult night for her. She's pinged a few times at the scrum. Her frustration perhaps boiling over there with that tussle off the ball. And it means Donna Rose is on in her place. Scored a brace from the bench, of course, against Ireland. Super sub in that game.
Absolutely.
How Wales would hope for a similar impact in this game. So the feed from Fionn Lewis, but again that Welsh scrum is under severe pressure and has come back on the French side, picked up by Chambon. Wants to get in on the action herself, her fellow scrum half, 2 tries in this game already.
Put it down, red.
This is so frustrating for Wales. Alex Callender fresh on the field. Wandered off with the ball, and that's annoyed
coming back for the penalty.
French opponents.
Listen to me, put the ball down and do not prevent them from picking it up. The next time, we'll go again. Okay. Do you understand? I will have that conversation. Okay. You let them play the ball.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I've just had a word to her about not preventing the ball. No more shoving. The next person that shoves someone off the ball, I'm going to reverse the penalty. Tell them that right now. Okay, penalty here, guys, not staying square in the scrum. No, I'm going to give you the mark. You'll probably be about a meter up. That'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming back to the mark. Just give me a sec. Time's off. Yeah. Okay.
There's not really much in that. You could argue cases for both sides there, but personally I just want to see some rugby being played, so let's just get on with it.
The other thing too, the TV camera's just picking up your language, so I just do need you to be mindful, okay? Thank you.
She's not been on the pitch long, Alex Callender, but she's apologised about 10 times already.
Time's on.
There we are, possession, territory, a lot more even in this second half, certainly than it was in the first.
Crouch!
But at present, Wales are back in familiar territory, in other words, deep in their own 22, looking to repel another French attack. Will Donna Rose help stabilise this scrum? It's going backwards again. Advantage being played, Chambon. There was space on the blind side, she's gone open. Tremoulier looks to pass, sails over the line, effortlessly so. Jessie Tremoulier, the world player of the decade, makes things so easy here in Cardiff. And after such a promising opening 10-15 minutes for Wales, France slammed the door on them again.
And that's classic signs for me of a defensive line that are scared of all the things going on behind the ball carrier. So no one really committed there to tackling Jessie Tremoulier. You can see there the 13s obviously run a decoy line in behind her. Players are watching what's going on behind. And in credit to France, when they have movement in their back line, it is so quick, it is so on the money. Sometimes you feel like you've got more players than should be out there running at you, running decoy lines, but that was just a little bit too easy there for Jessie Tremoulier to just glide through.
And the easiest kick of the night for her to add 2 points to her own try. And it dutifully sails over. She's one of those athletes, isn't she, that just looks effortless in everything she does.
Very nonchalant.
It's like watching Roger Federer play tennis. He never seemed to break sweat, even when he went 5 sets.
Yeah, she's a classy player. Been playing for some time now. And although she doesn't smile often, I am told she's still enjoying her rugby.
Well, why wouldn't she be? The way she's playing at the moment, absolutely masterful.
Inside!
And there is Chambon, the live wire scrum half. Like for like, really, with Sansus, who she's replaced. 33-0 now, the score. And there is still 25 minutes to be played in this game. What can Wales salvage? As we mentioned, the previous 3 encounters between these two sides, France have scored 50 points plus. And Wales will be desperate for that not to happen again. Siobhan Harris, good carry. And she wasn't held, so she's back to her feet. And rumbles for another couple of yards. Snowhill takes the ball just above her head. She manages to hold on. There's Donna Rose, fresh on the field in the scrum cap. Robin Wilkins cuts back inside. Joyeux was looking for another turnover. She sniffed the turnover, but Wales have held on to the ball. Forlani as well. And there's Fionn Lewis. Dummy inside pass. Just trying to fool that French defence, trying to unpick that stubborn French defence.
Got the advantage.
Lewis against Snowsill this time. Ball goes into the air. Chasing that is Lisa Neumann. It's well dealt with from France. No panic.
It's here, yeah.
Jessie Tremoulier. It's advantage Wales. Any will come back for the penalty. It's bang in front of the posts, but at 33-0 down. And the scrum creaking, there is only one option here. And Snowsill will put this one as far into the corner as she can manage. Oh, she's overcooked it. She's overcooked it.
Yeah. Scrum. You can have
really frustrating from a Welsh perspective there. I actually thought she was overly cautious with her kicking for touch in the first half, but there she just takes off that a little bit too much.
Sub, sorry. Time's off. Good.
So a mass substitution now for France. 3 off, 3 on. On comes Coco Lindelöf into the front row. Loose head prop. 6 caps to her name.
Bind!
Will that change the dynamics of this scrum?
Get your bind on. Yep.
See a Calfoui on as well on the tight head, so 2 new props for France. Agatha Sochat remains at hooker. She's the captain, of course, now that Gaëlle Hermé has left the field. So we're on the 22. That's a strong scrum from France. So those 2 new props just as effective as their predecessors, and there's a gap there for Chambon to glide into. Dragged down eventually by her opposite number, Fionn Lewis, but that's a good ground made by France up the field. Audrey Forlani evades the first tackle. Wales still committing to these tackles, but you'd imagine there's some tired limbs out there now. Forlani has been busy since she's come on. Ménager. Romain Ménager, that is, the number 8. Bit of aggressive counter-rucking there from Jazz Joyce, just trying to disrupt the flow of that French ball.
19 offside.
19 for Wales is offside.
19 offside.
Alex Callender. And France just happy to play the percentages in this second half. Not creating much, but they've got such a commanding lead, they simply don't need to. Another couple of substitutions for Wales. On comes Kelsey Jones. Scored the only try, the only Welsh try last week, or rather 2 weeks ago against England. So it's the end of the afternoon for Karis Phillips, and Eleanor Snowsill is off as well. So I imagine we'll see Robin Wilkins move to 10. Jacquet at first receiver. It's a bit of a wayward pass, but it's gobbled up by Jambon. He's got a little bit of space. Lovely kick inside.
Yeah, advantage. Yeah.
Enough time.
Just here, yeah, and it's only just a grubber kick, eh? Yeah. Late tackle. Yeah, just back up.
So high tackle is the decision against Donna Rose.
So it's a late tackle.
Or a late tackle on Boujard.
Yeah, you can see Boujard very frustrated. She kicked a lovely sort of curved grubber kick through, so really making sure that when the ball would bobble, it would bobble into play. We'll have a look at it around here. She sort of sweeps her leg round it and it curves it back into field, so keeping it alive. But what I'm sure was supposed to be a subtle hit by Donna Rose, unfortunately it was right in front of the third official, so late tackle, possession back to France.
Subtlety, not part of Donna Rose's repertoire. And what this means is Sochat has another opportunity to launch an attacking platform for France. And there is Chambon to Tremoulier. Nice angles from the French three-quarters. Good alignment from that defensive line for Wales, though. Not many cracks appearing yet. There's Lindelof fresh on the field. Already shown her worth in the scrum.
Through the middle.
Showing she can carry the ball too. Calfoui. Tremoulier. Donna Rose doing her best to rip the ball from Tremoulier's grasp. Sochat. Sean Harris aggressively up in defence, and France going backwards for now. And another mistake. Maëlle Philopon. Again, eye off the ball. And the French performance has been riddled with errors this evening.
Yeah, it really has. And when you consider, you know, the French coaching staff made no sort of qualms about it when they were entering into this tournament. They did openly say, sort of first 3 rounds, they're going to recycle their team, and we saw that, making up to 11 changes in their match day squad. But when it came to round 4, and specifically round 5, when they face England, that's when they want their sort of polished performances. They want to be playing their starters. So I think it will be frustrating for the French management to see the amount of handling errors they have occurred. And when you talk, you know, they have got a strong lead, but when you consider Scotland kept them to a 0 in the second half, I really would have thought it would have been an objective of theirs to be ruthless in the second half.
Good pick up and offload from Sean Harris initially, but that pass just failing to find the hands of Jazz Joyce. And again, it was another retreating scrum for Wales, so everything they do is on the back foot at the moment. They're making these decisions under pressure, trying to execute these passes under pressure. Barely got any space to breathe.
Sean Harris does very well there, doesn't she? Managing to get that ball out, rides the contact and gets the offload away. But like you say, it's all being done really under a lot of pressure, not giving Wales the full opportunity to really have a chance to expose any space.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
A rare scrum penalty for Wales as that scrum hits the deck. And just look at that reaction. All 8 members of that Welsh pack roaring with joy, pumping their fists as Wilkins sends that ball skyward and into French territory. And sometimes it's those small gains, those battles within battles. And here comes Niamh Terry.
Just on. Okay, we'll get
also on is Cara Hopes.
Are we all done with those subs?
Brief appearance in the first half, back on permanently now in the second.
Yeah, time's on.
And Katie Powell off for Wales. It's a good clean take. And now perhaps a chance for Wales to launch something. Karen Lake. Fionn Lewis switches direction, Robin Wilkins. That's a lovely little cross kick, but just evades the clutches of Gwen Crabb, who found herself out on the left wing.
Really good way to mix it up there. I actually thought she was going to back herself and go for a 50-22. She's within the half. As you could see, the fullback was sort of sweeping across, but she wasn't in the strongest position to field that. But still, mixing it up in attack is a good thing to see from Wales.
They're coming into the lineup.
Forward with the dummy run. She's always going to attract defenders. We've seen her already with a few barnstorming surges upfield. But another mistake from France. Welsh defensive line up fast, as it's been all game, to be fair. Pressing hard. That'll be something that will have pleased Johan Cunningham. France finding an edge now. There's Annery. Really dangerous runner. Really athletic runner. Julie Annery. And Alex Callender comes up with the ball, but it's a Welsh knock-on, so another French scrum. And another good crowd here tonight, Philippa. I know they were a little bit concerned with the late kick-off and the effect that might have on families wanting to come, but that stand is full and loud and passionate.
Just set up to the left and we'll just hold our space. Stops. Hands off. Coming? Oh yeah, is she a winger? She's a winger, guys. We're gonna play on. She'll be all right. Yeah, hands on. Hands on.
Interesting, okay. But yes, it is great to see the crowds. And we could be looking for another record to be broken tomorrow for the England-Ireland game in Leicester. Last I heard, they were around 14,500, so the record for a standalone Six Nations game, England game, was created by Wales at Kingsholm. It's about 14,700, something like that, but looks like it could be pushing 15,000 tomorrow, which would be fantastic.
Okay, I need you to hold your space. You're leaning for me. Hold your space. So I will do that. You get your back 5 to not push you early.
Yeah, that's right.
Reset. Let's go. Bind on the back, please. On the back, not the arm. Yep.
Donna Rose there standing up on the tight end side, and another frustrating end to that scrummaging sequence for Wales. And the referee has definitely penalised Wales repeatedly in this game, and
pulled out of the contest.
Even though the personnel has changed in that front row, as Philippa said at the very start, once you start giving the wrong messages, painting the wrong pictures, an opinion forms in the referee's mind that's hard to shift. And this French scrum has been dominant throughout this championship.
Crouch!
Yeah, Wales have really struggled across the board with their set piece. What has in previous rounds a line-out been so reliable, unfortunately has shaken. And like you say, just a negative picture there in the scrum.
There we go from Jacquet, another drop ball from France, another knock on, another attack come to nothing, and Wales will be grateful at least for these unforced errors from France, because
that's enough.
The amount of possession and territory they've involved, that scoreboard could be looking a lot uglier than it is right now. I'm just seeing the replay there, Jacquet, simple eye off the ball again.
Yeah, she wasn't under the most amount of pressure. There wasn't sort of a clear person in her face. Actually, I think it was quite the contrary. I think she was looking ahead towards a gap rather than looking at where the pass was coming from.
So Sochat, the captain, the replacement captain, comes off the field. She's just had 2 weeks of maternity leave, her first foray back into the action. And she'll be very happy with the night's work. Nearly 70 minutes, and as she leaves the field, her team are 33-0 to the good.
Crouch! Bind!
Cara Hope on the near side, another banger-born prop in this Wales squad. It's her 18th cap this evening, but she finds herself going backwards. But again, Sinead Harris picking up from a retreating scrum and making hard yards. Such an asset to this Wales back row, like Siwan Lillicrab, who she's replaced. Two powerful back row forwards who never take a backward step. And Wales now, desperation almost, is plucked out of the air by Jacquet. Good scramble defence initially by Wales just to shut that down, but it was always ambitious to play in their own 22 like that when you're 33-0 down. Often you think you have no other option but to spin the ball, but France now on the attack in Wales' 22. There's Philippon. Chambon. Another knock on, and this time Wales have secured possession. Can they start a counter-attack of their own from their 22, or will Wilkins put boot to ball? They are going to try and run it out. And they have found a little bit of room on this right-hand side. Advantage over, calls the referee. So Niamh Terry goes digging.
Release!
And then Cross told to release. Wilkins. He's looked very composed since she's moved to fly half. And here's Jasmine Joyce with a little bit of space. Shown the outside by Philippon, cuts back inside, using that power and strength to get an extra few yards through the tackle. She is not just a speedster, Jazz Joyce. Good strong carry from Natalia John. Had to take the ball at shoulder height. Anna Jones at scrum half to Wilkins. Welsh three-quarter line standing pretty deep. Here's Butchers to add a bit of impetus. And Neumann on the wing. She's not seen as much action tonight as a fellow wing three-quarter, Jasmine Joyce. One of those lonely evenings stuck out on the wing for Lisa Neumann.
Advantage.
Karen Lake,
13 blue,
at the
tackle
base of that ruck.
Just get me a mark.
Now Wilkins, chip and chase. Oh, nearly fell so nicely for her, but didn't manage to gather.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, there is this 13
The
blue
whistle's
off
already
the
been
ball.
blown. 13 blue offside. Philippon.
Just over here. Okay. Is that the mark? 13 blue off the ball.
Managing to play a lot more rugby, Wales. Still not able to break down this ever so solid French defence. I think all players will be thoroughly aware now. The clock is ticking. There's got to be some urgency on this.
For people who perhaps don't follow the Women's Six Nations, Philippa, it probably sounds a bit perverse to say that this scoreline might be progress for Wales, given they lost by 50 the last 3 times they've played France. You know, at first glance, it looks like an ugly scoreline, but does this represent progress?
This absolutely does. Look, just to put it into context for people at home, Wales have played France 26 times. They've only ever won 3 times.
Yeah, so
that is the dominance in which France have had over Wales. You've got to go all the way back to 2016, the last time that Wales were managed to edge them. And then it was a really close battle, 10-8, so it wasn't the most convincing win, but yet still a win. Look, France are 3rd in the world. They're semi-professional, not fully professional. They are semi-professional, but just think of the scope and the depth of players that France have to pick from. They thoroughly support their women's game. And that all builds to the performances that we're seeing here today.
In case you missed it there, Peyronnet is on for Tremoulier. Job done for Jessie Tremoulier tonight. Another imperious performance from the French fly half. Kicked all by one of her kicks and scored a beautiful solo try of her own. She just danced her way through the hesitant Welsh defence.
Use it.
Oh, no one called for that ball. Jazz Joyce thought Niamh Terry was going for it and vice versa, but it's worked out okay for Wales. And here's Lisa Neumann off from her opposite wing.
No, she's crawled into her. No.
Slow ball coming back for Wales though. Fionn Lewis wondering where on earth the ball is. It'll come back on the Welsh side, but
crawled into that girl on the ground.
no impetus there.
She's crawled into her. It's not a penalty, it's a scrum. Unplayable, your ball. Correct, I'm just saying it's not a penalty because she can't crawl into her.
So Fionn Lewis
Unplayable, your ball.
suggesting there that she couldn't even see the ball, let alone play the ball, and lobbying for the penalty, but the referee insists it's just a scrum. 5.5 minutes left in this game, and the result obviously well beyond Wales. It has been for some time, but it would be some consolation if they could breach that French try line in this remaining 5 minutes. They're in French territory, they have possession of the ball, but they found it so difficult to breach this French defence. Robin Wilkins has looked lively since she's taken over at fly half. Mixed things up a little bit. Some dinks over the top, some missed passes. Wales just need to get this ball away quickly because that scrum has been going backwards all night and it's not quick enough. Another penalty to France. A litany of scrum penalties. And you do wonder if that was Wales's last opportunity. That ball does not find touch into the hands of Robin Wilkins. And that is penalty
14
Wales.
has to go first.
Taken quickly by Fionn Lewis, and she's away. Look at this from Fionn Lewis. Lovely stuff. Rounds the tackle of 4. Good progress from Wales into French territory. And if they're tired, they are not showing it. Wales launching themselves into contact now, up to the 10-metre line. Robin Wilkins. Jazz Joyce a little bit isolated. Doesn't panic, goes to ground.
Stay here.
And Fionn Lewis, fresh from her break. Strong carry from Kelsey Jones.
Advantage, off feet.
France
Got the advantage,
off their
off
feet,
feet.
contesting for that ball, so advantage Wales. How they would love to finish with a score. Free kick, or free hit rather, for
Off
Robin
feet.
Wilkins.
18.
Leads to nothing, but will come back for this
Off your
penalty.
feet. 18. Heads up.
Yeah, just not quite enough height on that crossfield kick. Had a good projection forward. She just needed a little bit more backspin on it, try and keep it holding up in the air, so it could have been more of a contest. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a catch and drive here. It's a long way out, but we have not yet seen the full threat of their line out.
We haven't, have we? And 8 of Wales's 10 tries scored so far have come from the line-outs. So it wouldn't be a huge surprise, but as you say, they just haven't got near enough to set that ball in motion.
Yeah.
It's a messy one, but it's come back on the Welsh side. Wilkins,
Advantage.
Karen Lake, Hannah Jones, Niamh Terry cuts back inside.
Perfect. Yeah, red, we've got advantage. Yeah.
Advantage being played again. Persistent infringements
It's over
now
at
from the
15.
French. And Robin Wilkins doing well there. The ball landed at her feet. She scooped it up.
Yeah, new advantage,
And
offside.
another powerful surge from Hannah Jones. She's been a thorn in the side of that French
No.
defence whenever Wales have had the ball.
Got the
So
last
too's
space.
Fionn Lewis, to be fair, since she's
Offside.
come on.
Yeah, so you have an offside one
Always
here.
looking to
Or
attack,
we can have a
always
line
looking
out
to
one just in
exploit
line
those
with player
fringes.
Up on the 15. Yeah? See.
And it's
6,
Wales who are
jumping
finishing
across the line
with
out.
the momentum.
That's what we just had 6 coming across there. Yep, that's what this one is. Oh, dry. Just here. Okay. So you need, don't come across. Okay, stay on your side.
And there is Laure Sansus, player of the match. 2 more tries to add to her tally, takes it to 6, and she remains top of the charts for the championship. Such an influential figure in the French side. All the work was done 20 minutes or so ago when she was replaced by Chambon. And here is that drive that Philippa was talking about. First opportunity really for Wales to put it into motion here this evening. Kelsey Jones at the heart of it. Well, Boujard was high up in the line there. Clearly offside, and it's another penalty for Wales. And Wilkins bangs it into touch.
Blue, 2
With
penalties.
15
back to
seconds
back,
left
close that
on the
ball.
clock.
Be careful.
Referee warns France. Next defence could be a yellow card if there's
Yeah, I
time
just had a
indeed
chat.
for another offence.
Just had a chat. We've just
Bit
had
of a
2.
conflab
I heard a word.
between the Welsh forwards and Fionn Lewis. And you'd imagine, Philippa, it would be the same again.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, that's the middle, guys. So your hooker's on the middle. You come out.
Initially, France did well on the last one, defended it strongly. It's going to be the last chance for Wales.
Advantage, yeah.
That one's gone immediately to
Got
ground.
the
It is
advantage.
another advantage being played. And Wales thunder towards the try line. Can they finish with a flourish? A reach from Shawnee Harris.
Hands off. Hands off.
Referee calls time off. We'll have another look at this. It was the very limit
You have a grounding
of her
right?
reach.
Okay, so we're going to check, and if not, they'll come back for that. And cynical for me as well.
We're going to have another
5
play
for blue,
anyway,
yeah.
even though the clock's
Okay,
ticked into
Ollie,
the
we're
red,
going to come
because
to you, and I'll just come down.
we were playing advantage. Did Shawnette Harris manage to find the white line?
Ollie, I'm coming up to you. We've got on-field try, as we do have a grounding. I just want to check how it got there and that there's been no knock-on. If we don't have a try on the field, we're coming back to a penalty against 5 for collapsing, and it will be a yellow card as well.
Okay, we'll get that footage for you now. Joy, you're watching number 20 here, just Maggie, number 20, just to see if a momentum has stopped.
Perfect, thank you.
Incredible skills there from Shawnette Harris. Not just power, but flexibility to twist herself around the body. You know exactly where the try line is.
No, listen, I'm happy that that's her one placement and that we've got it on the
Incredible finish.
Absolutely incredible. Well done, Shawnette Harris.
So Wales have the try they've been crying out for. And if we look across the stand, the flags are being held aloft. The crowd are on their feet. And it's the loudest cheer of the night by some distance. It's a mere consolation, but highly significant, Philippa, that Wales have had the last word in this encounter.
Highly significant to get points on the board. That will be a credit for Wales. There'll certainly be some positives they can take from the second half, but they'll just be frustrated that they made it so difficult for themselves in the first, not being able to get out of the grasp that France had on them with their lack of possession, lack of territory. But like we said, Johan Kahneman said, just win the next 10 minutes of the second half. They certainly did that and went on.
A smile from Shawnette Harris. The conversion was wide of the mark. The final whistle has gone. It is a comprehensive win for France. But as we mentioned, after 3 50-point-plus victories for France over Wales in the last 3 encounters, this definitely represents progress. And there are things to build on for Johan Cunningham and his team. Final score here in Cardiff Arms Park. Wales 5, France 33.
Is against Italy next Saturday. That match kicks off early, 12 o'clock kickoff. Until then, have a safe journey home. Thank you once again for your support. No stop.
Roedd wedi rhoi bach o pwysau arnyn nhw. O'n wedi cymryd falle 4 cais yn y 30 munud cyntaf oedd Ffrainc a credu nhw wedi chwarae'n dda, ond yr ail hanner a 10 munud olaf a hanner cyntaf, fi'n credu dangos ni beth, tipyn bach o beth ni amdano, mae rhaid ni wneud hwnna am 80 munud.
Chi mond ildio 7 pwynt ar ôl yr hanner awr cyntaf. Mae'n patrwm yn diwech, chi'n dod nôl mewn i'r gêm mewn yr ail hanner. Chi'n gallu esbonio pam?
Mae rhaid ni dechrau'n gwell, ond fi'n credu ni'n dangos bach o beth ni'n gallu wneud, ond os ni'n gallu rhoi perfformiad mewn am 80 munud, fi'n credu byddwn ni'n mynd o tîm dda i gret. So mae rhaid i ni edrych ar hwnna a edrych pam ni'n dechrau'n bach yn araf.
Diolch yn fawr o pob lwc yn
Diolch yn
erbyn
fawr,
yr Eidal.
diolch.
Siwan, it was always going to be a tall order this evening, but how important was it you finished that match on a high?
So important. I think we pressed for some time. I think we were unlucky not to convert the last 10 minutes of the first half, and then we started really hard again. But it took us to the last play really to get over the whitewash. But if you look at the score, you know, the first 30 minutes, it was all France and they took many opportunities. But after that, we were in the game completely. So we just need to start better now, but it's so important that we finish on a high tonight, and you know, we can take that now into the next week before we face Italy.
Yeah, it was only 7 points they conceded after that first half hour. Can you explain why it's taking yourself so long to build yourself back into the game?
I'm not sure, you know, we've got to look at ourselves and why we start almost a little bit slow and we don't start with that momentum that we're bringing after 30, 40 minutes into a game. If we can be an 80-minute team, then we're going to compete with great sides like France, who, you know, are third in the world and they're a great outfit. So, you know, it just shows that we've got it in us, but we've got to do it for a full 80.
They've scored a minimum of 50 points against you in the last 3 games. Do you feel that this is progress?
It is huge progress. You know, the points difference compared to where we were before is massive. You know, some of us have been professional for a small amount of time, semi-professional. This is the start of our journey, and I think that scoreline today reflects really where we're going. And if we can play like we did the last 50 for 80 minutes, that will be different again. So, you know, I'm proud of the girls, especially what we achieved after the first 30 minutes. But France are a great outfit and a well-deserved win today.
Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.